My name is Obapaanin Adu Oforiwaa. I currently work with the University of Education, Winneba, which is in the central region of Ghana. I have been involved in activism for quite a number of years, since my student days in Ghana. And then I joined quite a number of international activist groups. And I decided to switch over and get into academia and see if I could have that opportunity and a bigger crowd to work and move my interest area forward. So that influenced me getting into academia. And I was also influenced by the work of a lot of scholar activists, like Angela Davis, Amina Mama, Ifeoma Madume, who are very proactive activists, but at the same time academics. So I thought by emulating their footsteps, I'll be able to effect a change in my community. So that influenced my getting into academia. So I would have the opportunity to work with the student population. Again, coming from Africa, we're all very much aware of the achievements of the student movement, and therefore I thought I could work together with them to effect a change. That is how I got into the situation I am in now. And I was invited to come over to this conference to share my experience, and then particularly the challenges that I face as an activist and as an academic. I think it helped me immensely. Initially, with the student activism we were involved in, it was basically looking at our local issues. But I think the challenge we had at the time was linking it to the global discourse and then the global issues that were going on. So you think you have an issue, you have a problem as a student group, and then you fight for a change. But forgetting that there are other international factors manipulating or causing whatever challenges or problems that you are facing. So for me as a person, it gave me the opportunity to understand my issues from a global perspective. For all the problems that we're going through in Ghana with structural adjustment programs, with the changes in introduction in terms of payment of school fees by students, it didn't come because governments in Ghana wanted to just introduce them. But there were other manipulations from the international community, like the donor agencies, the World Bank, and then they tell you if you want us to cancel your debt, for example, this is what you have to do to qualify for debt cancellation. And therefore, there are conditionalities. All the things that we benefit as a government, as a nation from the international community do not come free of charge. They all come with conditionalities. So it gave me a broader picture of the challenges and the problems that we are going through. And therefore, if you're fighting for a change at your local level, you should have the understanding that there are other international manipulations. And therefore, how do you deal with the issues at the global level, at the local level, that will have a global impact? So for me, it was an eye-opener. It helped me with the Jubilee 2000 campaign, even with the Rendezvous of Victory. It enabled me to understand our predicament as Africans through the transatlantic slave trade. For the challenges that we're going through, little did we know that we had the legacies of colonialism affecting our situation. Even with our mindset, the way we think about ourselves as a people, our identity. Now we are being taken away by all the things that we watch on television, for example. We have cultural challenges. Our culture is dying away, right? Because there are all other things that we watch every now and then. And therefore, we just take it that it happened years ago or centuries ago. Our great-grandparents were taken away from Africa to the western parts of the world, and that is the end of the story. No. For those centuries, what happened to us in terms of us accepting who we are, in terms of our identity, in terms of our culture, right? And therefore, it was an opportunity for me to understand me as an African woman, as a black person, understand my history, understand the harm that has been done to my people, my community, and how to decolonize our mindset. Because we still harbor all those colonial mentalities that we cannot do it as a people. This is not just right for us. But then how do we, as a people, believe that we are capable of moving on? And therefore, I have a broader perspective, on all these issues. It hasn't been just one activist group. I joined the One World Week, for example, And for them, it was about accepting ourselves as global citizens. It doesn't matter which part of the world you come from, we are all one. So it's apart from the fact that I got to know myself well and identified myself well as an African, I also got the conviction that we are all one. And it doesn't matter which part of the divide you find yourselves, we are all one people. So I have benefited a lot from the various activist groups. And today, if I find myself in academia, I'm better positioned to understand the various challenges that we face from an international global level. For my work as an academic, I'm expected to research, I'm expected to offer training, workshop, organize training sessions and workshop, and to advise policy as well. Research, it covers a broad spectrum of issues that I would like to research on. But I think the core issue for me is how I present my research findings. I can choose to research on any topic, but what happens with my write-up? And how do I present my findings in such a way that it is accepted within the academic circles and also accepted within the activist circles? That's a major challenge for me as an activist and as an academic. I'm saying this because for some of the radical language that I use in my write-up for the activist engagement, I cannot use them within my academic circles, especially if I want to apply for promotions. And there's this well-known adage in academia that you publish or you perish. If you don't publish, there's no way you can progress, climbing the academic hierarchy. And for some young people like us, I think we have that expectation to move on, and climb the academic ladder somehow. And therefore, it's a big challenge for me. And yesterday, somebody came up with a suggestion that why then don't you have two publications out of the same issue? You do the study, you have two papers. One is for the mainstream academic journal and the other is for the activist journal. It's a brilliant idea, but it's a question of time. It means that for each study you do two publications out of them, and we don't have much time. We need to do other things. I think it's high time that some of these things are recognized within academic circles. They are all issues. At the end of the day, for me, it's about effecting change in society. Whether I'm too radical or I am subtle about my issue, about the issue at stake, the most important thing is identifying the substance of the research and what it seeks to do. And I think it's high time that some of the radical studies we do, now we talk about action research, and then you do this on the field, the write-up must be acceptable within our academic circle. It is a major challenge that I face.